Hello guys, Matthew here and welcome back again to the TechTech YouTube channel. Although it's been just a couple of hours since its release, I already had a chance to try out and review Logitech's brand spanking new product from their gaming portfolio, the G Pro Tenkeyless gaming keyboard. Yes, of course it has RGB LEDs too. Just as with the also recently released G Pro mouse, the packaging is bringing in few subtle clues that this is one serious piece of gaming peripheral aimed at professional gamers and enthusiasts. You'll find a couple of useful information, few of which are almost hidden from you on account of this cool looking invisible print, while in terms of support, as for now it's intended for Windows platform only. Inside of the box you'll find your usual quick start guide together with the cable for connecting up the keyboard and of course the keyboard itself. Taking a closer look at it, right away you can probably notice that this model is based off another one from their gaming lineup, the G810 Orion Spectrum. It's basically that exact model, but of course without the right numpad portion of it, as this is a Tenkeyless version. Because of that you won't get dedicated media control buttons, just ones for the brightness control and locking up the Win key together with scroll and caps lock LEDs. Despite that, you'll still find some media keys at the top row on the right, which are based on your existing keys and used in combination with the FN key. Overall look and design of this model is as simple as it can be, very clean and straightforward without any over-the-top details, and the only thing that stands out is this glossy finish surrounding the edge of the keyboard. Other than that, the build quality is pretty decent, although it's mostly made out of plastic, at least from the outside. Keyboard's construction seems to be sturdy and rigid, while the finish is very smooth on the surface and feels nice on touch. The only complaint I have on it is that it seems to easily catch fingerprint stains. Bottom side has this cool looking pattern and 5 big rubber feet which are planting the keyboard pretty firmly on the table, while you can choose between two angles for the raised standoff feet. One thing that brings in something new compared to the G810 model is the connecting cable. Here we have a detachable one, which is also nicely sleeved in this cloth-like material, while this connection end for the keyboard uses micro USB port and this design with small hooks, which seems to be transferred over from their G900 mouse. Moving back to the top part, it's time to check out how this keyboard performs. Being a mechanical keyboard, you'll of course find a mechanical switch underneath the keycap, this particular one being their famous and in-house built switch together in collaboration with Omron, the Roamer G. Although they feel a bit firmer at first, overall they are pretty light. Their actuation force is sitting at low 45 grams, together with actuation point of just 1.5 mm. Bottom line, I do like them, but sometimes it's hard to distinguish the actuation point. Beside that, their main design advantage lies in the hollow center, in which you'll find housed RGB LEDs, so the backlighting is evenly dispersed, focused and more vibrant, although I would love to see them a bit brighter and with more levels of brightness available, being it through software or its hardware control over the buttons, as with this you only have on and off option on the keyboard itself. The sound and noise which they make is a bit quieter than your regular Cherry MX switch, while the coil tends to resonate, which I can personally pick up and which can be annoying sometimes. But then again, I'm a noise freak, so take that with a grain of salt. Other than that, I had no complaints in terms of your everyday use, as the key layout is nothing out of the ordinary. Although in question is a faster switch, so to speak, it's much suitable for typing than the Cherry MX Red switch, for example, while in terms of gaming it hits the right spots, and bottom line, it's not that different from its brother, the G810, if at all. Of course, don't forget that this is a Tenkeyless model without the numpad portion, which design personally doesn't suit me that well, since I do a lot of typing and number inputting. As a side note, if you're planning to type a lot, I will get something like a palm rest for it so you can make your experience that more comfortable. Of course, crucial part of every Logitech's gaming product is their software support for it, that again being the Logitech Gaming Software Utility, or LGS in short. As always, we have this very clean looking application which lets you configure pretty much every aspect of the keyboard, starting from your usual setup of profiles depending on the game and purpose. While function keys are completely programmable, you can use them as a dedicated trigger buttons. In terms of the backlighting, there's a lot to choose from your standard lighting mode, lighting by zones where you can really dig in on that customization, common lighting effects like breathing, color wave and key press, while you can also create your own effects and let it just run wild. On top of that, you can even sync the lighting effects on your keyboard to your other existing Logitech devices like mouse or headset, which also support this feature. All in all, I could probably do a separate video based on the backlighting and what could you do with it. Lastly, you can choose what keys do you want to disable once you press that gaming mode button, while you can also record your key press heat map to see where are your fingers most active. Having less real estate and components on it, so to speak, the G Pro keyboard is around 20% cheaper than the G810, which makes it a bit more interesting, although that's overall still quite a steep price to begin with. It won't be justifiable for majority of users because of that, and also because this particular model falls under a pretty niche market as it's a Tenkeyless design, but I'm sure that it will find its way to its potential customers. That's it for this time from me. Thank you once again for watching. Feel free to toss me a thumbs up if you like what you saw. That really helps me a lot. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about the product or if you want to leave your suggestions. And of course, feel free to subscribe for content further down the line, or you can check out some of my other videos from before. Catch you later, guys.